What is up? We have the Faction Wars Part 2 today for the Turtle account. I'm going to go in. The factions today, I believe, are... Actually, I have no idea what they are. They are Lizardmen, and they are Dwarf. I don't think I have a whole lot for either of these, so not too sure how this is going to go. Donatello. I have Elijah, which I'll boost up. I know the Lizardman you get for free at the 14-day login. We'll have him. Broodmaul doesn't really help at all, but I guess I'll probably use him. But we're going to go in. I'm going to pick my characters. I'll explain and go over the lizards first, and then we'll go over and do dwarfs, but I am going to take a peek. Do I have any? Dwarfs doesn't look too bad, actually. We have the fusion characters from last. We have Kia, or Keisha, whatever, that I need to boost up for Mikage fusion anyway. We have Morag. I may end up using 2 Morags, but I don't know if I have any support-style characters that I could use for, like, a reviving character. So, not the easiest one today, but also with the last Faction War video I did, I forgot. You can set gear sets now. They sell these? Okay, I did not know they sold those. I have not had that pack pop up. But you can set your gear. So in the past, every time I did Faction Wars on a new account, there was not free gear removal. So you did not go in and move your gear every single time, or at least I never have, because that is insanely expensive. I just always use junk gear and then boosted up the characters and used the junk gear. But now, with the free gear removal, you guys pointed out in the last video, and I felt like an idiot, you can set gear sets, and you can just move it for free. So, Faction Wars is so much easier now, it is hilarious. So I'm going to be doing that, but one thing before we get into that real quick, we have a promo code. So now's your chance to become part of my team by clicking my link in the description to get the free Legendary, Alanarilla, as well as Vergus, Tagoar, and Deacon Armstrong as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Player and Play on your PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register using a new email address. From there, launch raid, complete the tutorial, then go to your mailbox and claim your first champ. Lastly, use the promo code Desert Queen to get the insane Void Legendary Tawanaric for free on top of all those other free champions. That's all you need to do to get these awesome free champs. So click my link in the description now before it expires. So the promo code, it is Halloween. I'm going to put this in like every single video over the next little bit, is going to be Trick or Treat. I believe. Trick or treat. Bang. It's trick or treat. So it is Halloween in the States. I don't know if other places do Halloween. I'm pretty sure the whole world does. But not the whole world. But yes, it is a Halloween thing. And trick or treat's a promo code. Got some decent rewards out of that. What do we get actually real quick? 5-star chicken. That's pretty good. So 250, 5-star chicken, and 25 potions. Some auto battles. Pretty good promo code. So that is going to be what we're doing today. I'm going to go out. I'm going to check out the Lizardmen, and I also still have to make the gear sets setup. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll get in. We'll get through these 2 factions, and then tomorrow I'm going to record right away at reset the next factions. I'll check what those are, and we'll talk about that a little bit toward the end of the video. But I'll be back in just a second once I have the characters picked. Okay, so going in, this is all the Lizardmen I have. It should work fine for the beginning of this. I probably will need to get something else along the way. I do have a Reviver, which was big, and this is something that I'm really tempted to do, is use 2 of them. So for the 5 characters, I'm going to use Elijah because I need to boost them up anyway for the Mikage fusion, so why not? Just get that ready. Donatello's already good to go. He's going to be the hard carry. I do have my Donatello on pseudo damage right now, so that kind of works out. We do have Jizo, which is going to end up being a pretty solid character for this. I mean, he's just a basic character everybody gets, so why not use him is the idea. Big thing, though, is both Terex. Terex seems okay. He's going to allow me to get some crowd control on there. He does have an AoE attack on skill 2 with a provoke. He's based off defense, and he has a counterattack on him as well, so it's not too bad. This is a 4-turn cooldown, AoE, all provoke, 3-turn for the counterattack strengthen buff. Strengthen buff doesn't sound bad. So I think I'm going to end up using Terex over Cagebound. The ally protection seems nice, and decreased attack could be okay, but doesn't really do quite as much. They're both defense scaling, and I do have the defense sets from Tawanaric plus the Keyhulk that I can switch over. I did make the presets. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. But I believe that's going to be my team. So Donatello, Elijah, Jizo. I think I'm going to use Terex. He just sounds fun is the reason. It was either Terex or use 2 different hard specs. Well, hard specs actually insanely nice. Having a 3-star Reviver. Having 2 Revivers would be huge. I think that's probably the best play is just do 2 of them. But for now, before we get into that, going too hard, building 2 of the same, I like to have kind of some variety because that's more fun than just using the same thing. But having a Revive a dead ally on a 5-turn cooldown, that sounds like I need 2 of them. But okay, I'm going to go build them up. I am going to use Terex just because he just sounds cool. So that's going to be the team. These 5, I'm going to go get them up to like 4-star, 5-star, just strong enough to get through today's missions. And the other characters here, I didn't really care for. Gator is wasn't super excited with having that. I can go for Fuse Broodmaw or whatever his name is. That doesn't sound the worst. That may be in the future, but that might end up taking Teryx's spot. I'm going to go look how long that takes because I feel like I haven't done it forever. And then we'll decide fully. Once I come back, I'll show you everything I built up and I'll give you the rundown as to why we made the decision we did. Okay, so now that we came out of this, I did want to show in the fusion, you can do Broodmaw, and the nice thing with him is he has a 2 random ally revive and a block damage buff on them. That's really solid. He's a solid character, especially for Faction Wars. He has increased crit rate on all allies, so it makes your Faction Wars just easier to build, but now that you can move gear around, it's not as needed. You just put your best gear on him, on your team, and you'll be fine. And he has a freeze on his skill 1. It's just a single target freeze. Not bad, but he is pretty easy to get. I do have all the characters needed, so I am going to go do his fusion, get him ready. But then I also forgot about Razan. I never bothered doing him on any account, and I'm 1 character away, but the only way to get Wander is going to be summoning, and that might take a while. But Razan, we're just going to plan to switch into place one of the extra characters I end up picking, probably Teryx. We'll probably switch Razan for Teryx, and the Reviver guy that I was going to build, we're going to do Broodmaw instead. So I'm going to go get his fusion done, come back, we have that part done, and then eventually I just got to make sure I keep my eye out for wonders. That is the important thing. So I'm going to go do that, come back, show you all the builds and stuff, and then we'll knock out as many as we can today of the Lizardman faction. Then we'll switch over to the next faction. Okay, so I want to get all the things for Broodmaw, so we're going to go ahead and fuse him real quick. Cost $1 million. Damn. I forgot how much it costs to fuse in this game. But he's done. Now we got Broodmaw. Now we got a solid Reviver. So now I'm going to skip out on building the 3-star Reviver. I think he should be plenty. Again, you can go double Reviver. That would not be bad, but I want the control of the Teryx. I think Teryx could be fun, and then Teryx will just get switched out for Razan. Once I eventually get that, I'm going to go level them up. We're good to go. I got a decent team. I didn't realize I was that close to Razan. I didn't know I was 1 character away. So that is exciting. My Lizardman faction will be pretty solid once that's done. Broodmaw, Razan, plus Donatello, already a solid faction team, and then over time we'll switch other things in. So take me a second. Going to go level them all up, at least a 4-star, maybe promote 1 or 2 of them, and then we're going to tackle that, and then we got to look at Orcs. Orcs, not looking too bad, but not too great either. So give me, it's gonna take me like an hour to level this up. I'll be back once that's done. Okay, so here we go. Dude, the presets are so nice, by the way. I have not used them yet, but thank you guys for pointing that out because I felt like an idiot. Now, so we have our Donatello, good to go. Everything about him will work just fine for this. And Broodmaw, we just switched over like somebody's gear. I believe it was Rector Draft's gear. And then going down, I awakened them all to 3-star because a 4-star awakening is when it starts taking more resources. And I'll go and eventually get that stuff. But for right now, with the characters, I don't plan on keeping them. Like Delijah, I'm going to have to do anyway. Broodmaw, I'll probably always use. But Delijah, we went ahead and just put on my Shredder's gear. So it's not great, but it should work. He has a ton of crit rate. That's not a lot of crit damage. And then we have our Jizo, which I believe I put him on my Keyhulk's gear. So all of them are set, as well as the Teryx. Teryx, like probably 4-star awaken, but they don't need a lot of stat for this first little bit. It's going to be once I get to the, stage like 12 and above, it's going to start getting harder. I will have to ascend them higher and all of that. The biggest thing was the 3-star awakening or ascension. Make sure they unlock their extra ability, whether it's their aura or unlocks their extra skill. So I want to make sure I have that on everything. The only thing I really have to change was the rings. I had to go and find new rings for everybody, which eventually ought to be rings, banners, and amulets. But going in, we have everything we need. Just go ahead. I'll just do the HP lead for this. That should be fine. And this should be all up to what we can spend today. I actually need to go do my tag team arena so I can get the extra keys. So I'll do that after this fight, but I'll come in at the end of how this team's performing. We'll do the last stage together, talk about it, and then switch over to Orcs. But after this fight, I got to go do that. But overall, I mean, decent team. Just switched, I can't remember, the fusion guy in, and it's not bad. And eventually we'll switch Elijah out because they'll go for the Mikage fusion. That gives me time to get new characters, and it's a decent start. I didn't have to use a lot of resources, and things should end up good. So I'll be back at the end of my keys for the last fight. We'll probably not 3-star the boss either. We'll see. That one's kind of feels like getting lucky or manualing and getting lucky. Okay, so we're to the last fight. I went and did the tag team arena fights, and I got my extra keys. The last one takes 3 keys, so I'll have 1 key left over for today. I'll probably go burn it on something real quick before we get into Orcs. But the team overall has a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of happy with it. It won't work for the final stages unless I get like juiced up everything and fully boosted characters. But for this beginning and having a team that I can go and farm faction wars, 'cause that's one of the big things. Farming faction wars, getting the perception gear and the HP defense gear. I don't remember what it's called. That's really nice for an account because I don't have the best gear. I've been getting some decent stuff from Clan Boss actually that's going to help boost things up, but most of it's 5-star because I'm going to be doing an account overview video here shortly of where everything's at. Actually, I'll probably record that right after this. But I'm not able to always do the full Clan Boss Ultra Nightmare. It takes 2 keys. I can 1 key the one before that, which is nice, but the 2 key thing, I usually do 1 and then 1, and if I don't log back in, I don't get that 3rd key. So some days I miss it, and even when I do get it, a lot of time I still get 5-star gear, which isn't, I mean, it's good. It's good for where I'm at, we'll say that. But overall, you see the team has like everything. It's able to clear, no problem. Just the ability to switch the gear over. Game changing. That makes faction wars so much easier for all of you that are going to be getting into it. But already from here, I'm starting to get some decent rewards. Plus these glyphs are just going to make all my gear better. If I can get lucky and get, I mean, speed glyphs are always good. So things are looking good. I'm very happy. Now the next challenge is going to be going and figuring out my dwarfs. So I'm going to pull up the dwarf faction menu. We're going to talk about it real quick. I'll make all the teams super fast, see what we end up with. I might end up doing 2 more eggs depending on the rares that I have, but we'll be back in a second with that pulled up to make our final decisions on these characters. Okay, so going in, I don't really like the characters I have. I don't have any revivers. This character, Kia, is just part of the Mikage fusion. I got lucky and pulled them. So she has increased defense. I'm not going to have a healer. So it's going to be a disaster. Going in, Morag is just going to be extra damage, and then Hilda is going to come in and have... She has attack all enemies and stun. She has a heal reduction. I don't think that's going to help too much in Faction Wars. And the 3 times hit and ignoring defense, she'll be solid damage. She's just general attack. I don't think I'll do the second Morag. I'll just use these 3. And then Kurzad seems okay. He has increased accuracy and then attack all enemies with a decreased defense. So I mean, that's good. AoE decreased defense is fantastic. And he has attack all enemies on his skill 2 as well. He has a lot of books needed, but he is an option, as well as Dilgal will be my other one. So I looked through all these. There's like one that heals. I didn't like any of them. If you see any characters here, I'll scroll all the way up that you think could be decent. I'll look into them, but this one's going to be probably one that I don't get a ton of stars on past the first day, and that's okay. Which is the biggest thing is getting all the rewards we can, get the books to max out my core team so that Clan Boss is easy to max damage every day, start getting my other Clan Boss teams up as much as I can. So that's the 5. I'm going to go find these in my vault. Actually, I can move this to collection and move to collection. There we go. We are done. Move to collection. They're all in my collection. There we go. That was a lot easier this time. So that's my team. I'm going to go ahead, build them up, switch the gear over, and then battle through again like last time. We'll watch the first one. I'll talk about the teams. I don't need to show the gear. It's the same gear presets I had on previous characters, but after that I'll show the final fight and just see. I'll talk about how things are performing, who is shocking me, because last one for the Lizardman faction, Delijah, I was actually impressed with. So see if there's anything in here that is extra good. We already know that Morag's gonna be great, but I don't know the other characters yet because I never use them. So we'll be back in a second with them all geared up, leveled up, and on to the fights. Okay, so we're here. I got them somewhat boosted up. So the problem is I need to go in and do some keeps. I'm going to go without the keeps, and then once this is done recording, I'm going to let this keep run for whatever until the time passes, because I have an hour left before reset. But I want to get in and get this faction war knocked out. One of the big things, as you see, once we go into here, 30 stars is so nice. I cannot wait to start getting these rewards down here. But now the dwarf keep, again, our team is going to be the only one I have as her lead for aura. That's crazy. Of all the characters I picked, that's the only aura I've got. But this is the team. Hopefully it goes good. We'll sit here, watch through the first one, and then come back. But as you see, I need to awaken 2 different. Morag not being awakened is pretty bad. I may need to go do that before I do the last fight. But otherwise, I'm running very low on resources. And that was that Kira's first hit? Oh, no, it's hers. She's pretty good. She was really good extra character to get from the fusion. For the last fusion, I didn't do it. I'm also not doing this new fusion. I'll talk about it in the video I'm about to make for the account overview. A lot of AoE attacks. That is really big, so that's fast. So I'm going to go through, battle all this, and I'll come back at the end, let you guys know how these characters are. I believe I have a 5 or 6 star soul for Kurzad, or one of these two. I'm going to check that too before we finish the video, because I remember getting one. for some kind of dwarf. We'll see what kind I got. I do need to put any kind of awakenings on. One thing with these Faction Wars series is if I do farm masteries at all, it'll be the bare minimum just for the crit chance, crit damage, and then extra HP and accuracy on the characters. It'll be the first couple. Like I'll put like 100 stamina into each character or something, but that is not something I need yet. I just want to get this first batch of stars collected so then I can start progressing my main teams, and then come back once my main teams are solid, then start putting more and more resource into each of the different factions. So I'll be back in a second with my overall thoughts of these characters, and we'll move on. I think that'll be the end of the video, but okay, I'll be back in a second. So here we are to wrap up the video, the final fight. The only thing I really can say out of all this is Morag's insane. Morag's so good for free character that everybody gets. All the characters here, they do fine. I mean, got the AoE attacks for everything. Reducing accuracy isn't really helping me, I don't think, a whole lot. Morag, though, like having that extra hit. The 3-star down at the side with the gun, the 3 hit into decreased defense was really nice against the boss. I was able to 3-star the boss. It was close, though. So I need a reviver. I need some kind of something. Not having a reviver faction war sucks, but you see, overall it works pretty solid. So we're gonna end up boosting up. I gotta determine which characters I boost up and which ones I don't. That's gonna be the hardest part. Again, if you guys saw anything in my hero inventory, which I know my face skin's blocking it half the time, I am aware of that. I've been trying to scroll up higher. But if you guys see anything in my hero inventory that you think would be a better use case than something I'm using, let me know. A lot of the time I just favor void characters, even if their skill kits are a little worse, just because the element neutrality, not getting into a faction war where they end up taking extra damage or whatever the other non-benefits are. For that, I know it is good against certain ones, but just void is just the go-to in any game I play, any element neutral type thing. So that is it, and there's our reward. So we ended up getting, what is this, an extra 100,000 silver, some extra 100 energy. These are all rare skill books, which are fine. I will end up using them on whichever characters we decide to keep of the rares. Now for the awakens, as you see here, I do have a Delijah soul, so that's awesome. I should have used that. That would have helped Faction Wars even more. Oh, wait. Okay, I need a second Delijah now. One bad thing with getting Delijah there, I also have Trumbor, which he's part of another faction, which we'll get to that. But part of the Delijah thing is now I have the souls that, I now want a second Delijah. He's actually good. I would like to get a second one anyway, but whenever I transfer him into the Mikage Fusion, I now lose that 3-star soul. So that sucks. I should have thought about that. I just wanted to click right away. It is okay. That's it for this video, though. Next 2 factions, let's go see what they are real quick, and then we will be doing those tomorrow. So 3 days, 58 minutes. We got Ogren Tribe, and then we've got Skinwalker, which Skinwalker, I do have someone I wanted to build, so that's exciting. And then I believe it's, and Sacred Order. So tomorrow's a 3. I might not be able to do all 3. We may just end up doing 2 in that video, and we'll save one of them just because it's hard to get enough resources to do this. So we'll work with what we can. A little bit of progress each day is good. Thank you guys for watching the Miniature Deity account update video. I'm going to start recording right now. Well, actually, I'm going to farm and then record it. But account update video coming up shortly after this one comes out, and then another faction war. And from there, I don't know. It depends on what events are going on, what I'm going to summon. But thank you guys for watching. If you're new, if you're willing to subscribe, that'd be awesome. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.